Okay, let's talk about something we all dread, right? That difficult conversation. It's one of the toughest parts of any job, for sure. But what if I told you there's a simple but really powerful framework that can flip those super tense moments into real opportunities for connection and growth? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack here.
You know exactly what this feels like. We've all been there. It's that pit in your stomach when you know you have to bring up a missed deadline or a complaint from a client or even just a disagreement on your team. It's this universal feeling of discomfort, right? You're just scrambling for the right words and pretty much just crossing your fingers that it doesn't blow up. So, this is the big idea we're diving into. What if those tense moments weren't just something to get through or even avoid? What if they were actually the key to building way stronger trust and, finally getting to the root of a problem? It sounds kind of crazy, but it is absolutely possible. And we're about to show you exactly how.
Okay, but first, let's get real about what happens when we just don't have these conversations, when we avoid them. It turns out that old saying, silence is golden, not so much. In this case, silence is actually incredibly costly for both your team and your customers.
Just look at this number for a second. 85%. That's how many employees, according to studies, experience workplace conflict. I mean, that's huge. This isn't some rare thing that happens once in a while. It's just a fundamental part of working with other people. So, really, the question isn't if conflict is going to happen. It's how are we going to handle it when it does? And look, if you're in a customer-facing role, maybe a team lead or in customer success, this whole thing gets amplified. The pressure is way higher. Because any misalignment or an issue you don't resolve, it doesn't just stay inside the team. Nope, it spills right over and directly impacts the client experience. How much does it impact them? Well, get this. Salesforce data shows that 65% of customers might just switch brands after one single unresolved negative experience. Let that sink in. One badly handled conversation can literally cost you a customer. The stakes really couldn't be higher.
But here's the flip side, and this part is so important. That same research shows that a whopping 83% of customers actually feel more loyal to a company when their issues are handled thoughtfully. This tells us everything we need to know. The conflict itself isn't the real problem. It's how you respond to it that makes all the difference.
So the bottom line here is pretty clear, right? When you avoid these talks, it just starts this downward spiral. Unresolved issues start to fester, trust erodes, team morale takes a hit, and yeah, eventually customers walk away. The cost of just staying silent is way too high.
All right, so how do we actually do this? How do we go from avoiding to taking action? Well, it all starts with your mindset. Before we even get into a step-by-step plan, we need to get grounded in 3 core principles. Seriously, think of these as your North Stars, your compass for navigating any tough talk.
So here they are, your 3 North Stars. Number 1, active listening. That's all about understanding, not just waiting to talk. Number 2, emotional intelligence. This is about being aware of emotions, yours and theirs. And number 3, non-accusatory language. It's all in how you frame things. Let's break each of these down because they are the absolute foundation for everything else. Okay, first up, active listening. And I'm telling you, this one is a total game changer. Most of us, when we listen, we're really just waiting for our turn to speak, right? True active listening is different. It means you are genuinely trying to understand where the other person is coming from. You might repeat back what they said, not just to prove you were listening, but to make sure you actually get it.
Now check this out. This is where non-accusatory language comes in, and it's all about a simple shift. Look at the left side. You always miss deadlines. You're wrong. Anything that starts with you immediately puts someone on the defensive. But look at the right. Instead of blaming, you're observing. I noticed the report was delayed, or when this happened, the impact was this. See the difference? It's factual, it's calm, and it opens the door for a conversation instead of slamming it shut with an argument. Okay, so we've got the mindset down with our 3 North Stars. Now let's get practical. Let's talk about the actual toolkit. This is your 6-step roadmap that will guide you through any tough conversation from the very beginning to the very end.
So let's walk through this. Step 1, prepare thoughtfully. This means knowing your goal and getting your facts straight before you even start. Step 2, set a respectful tone. You want to frame this as a partnership, not an accusation. That's how you lower their defenses. Step 3, practice active listening. And this is huge. Let them speak first. It shows respect and gives you the whole story. Then, step 4, state your perspective. using those calm, fact-based I statements we just talked about. Step 5, collaborate on solutions. This is so key. Don't just tell them what to do. Build a plan together. And finally, step 6, follow up. Schedule a check-in. This shows the conversation actually mattered and you're committed to seeing it through.
Okay, theory is one thing, but let's see how this framework actually plays out in the real world. We're going to look at a quick case study to see how these steps can take a really damaging situation and turn into a total win.
All right, so let's set the scene. Meet Samantha. She's a customer success team lead, and she has a problem. One of her account managers, Alex, has been repeatedly missing client deliverables. It's starting to become a real issue, affecting customer satisfaction. This is like the classic high-stakes conversation a manager has to have. Now listen to how Samantha starts the conversation. This is step 2, set a respectful tone in action. She says, Alex, I want to talk about some missed deliverables. My goal is to figure out how we can partner better, not assign blame. Boom, right there. She's clear about the topic, but she immediately frames it as a partnership. It's not an attack, it's an invitation, and that just instantly lowers the tension. And because she created that safe space, what happened? She learned the real reason for the delays. Alex wasn't being lazy or careless. He was totally overcommitted and getting pulled in different directions by another team. So once they knew the actual problem, they could jump to step 5 and collaborate on a real solution. Weekly calls to set priorities and clearer paths for when things get overwhelming. And the results? Get this, in just 2 weeks, after that one single conversation, Alex's on-time delivery rate shot up by 40%. That is a massive improvement. And it wasn't magic. It was the direct and super fast result of just applying this framework with a little bit of intention. And that's really the crucial point of this whole thing. The story of Samantha and Alex shows it perfectly. When you handle conflict intentionally, it doesn't break relationships down. It actually builds them up. It doesn't just solve a problem, it strengthens trust and makes the entire team better.
So that brings us to the end. But look, the real value here isn't just knowing this stuff, it's actually using it. So I'll leave you with a question to think about. What's one conversation you're going to handle differently this week?